So basically, a lot of parents blame their kids for their poor behavior. In actuality, they're the ones that taught the kid that behavior. I see that happening far too often where kids will be like, parents will be like, my kid is out of control, they have a bad mouth, and um, they have an attitude and stuff like that. But usually the parent is the one that actually taught them that behavior. Um, they watch their parents, some kids watch their parents be disrespected by men, or the father getting disrespected by women, and then they wonder why they don't get respect from the child. It's because they watch you get disrespected, and they feel like, I don't have to respect you because you don't require it from anybody else. You know how kids are, they get smart mouth, be like, well, so-and-so hit you, and then you get mad at me, and they have that mouth on them. But a lot of kids basically will respect you if you learn to respect yourself and require that from other people that you have involved or around them in your life. Some of you parents raise your kids in a toxic, unstable environment, and then you wonder why your kids act out. Kids need stability. They need a stable environment, a safe environment. They need security to be able to act right, to be comfortable. A lot of kids go through home to home because their parents are not stable and they have kids that they can't afford. And you wonder why your kid all over the place. It's because you are too. Kids need that structure and that discipline. And you have to be consistent with it. When you're always moving and constantly all over the place, of course your kids, it takes longer for kids to adjust to different environments than it do for adults. So having stability definitely help kids' behavior change. You have to model what you want your child to be as well. You can't be smoking and drinking and stuff and tell your kid, like a lot of people, especially in the Black community, because growing up, parents will say like, do as I say, not as I do. How does that help me? You're not showing me an example of what doing good is. How am I supposed to know how to do that? You have to model what you want your child to be. You can't tell them do the opposite of what you do when you're not doing right. Like, they don't know what being a good parent is if you're not showing them what a good parent is. Most people learn by watching someone else. It's no book to life. And if you don't have like your life together, of course, kids are going to be confused. They're going to be like, well, my mom was all over the place. My mom was not consistent, or my dad's not consistent. He never kept a job. They don't know what provider mean. If your child is acting out, there's usually a reason behind it. A lot of people just get frustrated, give up on the child, like, I don't know what to do with this child. This child is disrespectful. They have attitude. I don't want to deal with them. But instead of putting blame on them and talking about them, you should be figuring out why their behavior is the way it is, what's going on. I know a lot of kids, when I do talk to kids and coach kids in my coaching group, they'll say, like, my mom, all she do is yell at me and da-da-da-da. One little kid, it really hurt my heart. He was like, telling my son, you're lucky you have a mom that feeds you every day. I didn't know the little kid wasn't getting food provided to him every day. So it's like he used to bully my son, and that was the reason behind it, because he felt like, I'm going to bully you because I'm jealous of you and you, the kind of mom you have. I don't have that. And the nurturing that he get, and he see how I am with my son, because he's always around my house every day. Kids will act out, and it's always a reason behind it. They don't do it just for no reason, and usually it's a learned behavior. You have to have patience with your kids. Kids do require a lot of patience. Me as a mom, I didn't become patient until I became a mom. It took a long time. I used to be the most impatient person ever. I do not like waiting on people. I don't like my time wasted. But once I had a kid, it really changed my life drastically, because my son, you have to have the patience of God to deal with him. You tell him to do something, it's going to take forever for him to get dressed, forever for him to put his shoes on. You got to tell him like 2-3 times. And you'd be like, oh my gosh, like if I didn't have patience, I would go crazy. And you have to stay consistent. So if you do something like try to discipline your kid, you can't be 1 minute you'll discipline them for that, and then the next minute you won't. They're not going to take you serious if you're not consistent. You have to communicate with them. I always find time to talk to my son. We have our mother-son dates and stuff. Hey, sis. And we talk to each other. We have a discussion. I ask him, how was his day? Not just the simple answer of, oh, my day is good. I ask him, what did you do today? What did you learn differently? Did you have any problems at school? Like, I'm one of those nosy parents. Hey, Keisha, where I search through his backpack and I ask questions like, what do you got this in your backpack for? Why was you drawing on paper, wasting paper? Were you distracted in class? Like, I'm one of those people that ask questions. And my son, he'll talk to you. He'll communicate with you. He'll answer any question that you have. And like, you start to fish. When you start asking questions, they'll start opening up and they'll start giving you information that you weren't even asking. But usually you just have to communicate with them and learn their form of communication. I'll go for a walk with my son. He'll be like, Mom, let's go to the park and go for a walk. And be safe driving. But he'll say, let's go for a walk. We'll go feed the ducks, stuff like that. We'll just have a conversation. But wherever he's comfortable with having that conversation, we'll go to John's Incredible Pizza while we're sitting out eating. We'll have a conversation. And a lot of parents, like, it's okay to say you need help. I do see parents frustrated, but they refuse to ask for help. If you need help, get help, because you don't want the dysfunction to continue to the point where your child is going to need a therapist when they get older because of your poor parenting decisions and you being ashamed and hiding what's really going on in the household. I know in the Black community, that's really big. Like, don't tell nobody what's going on in my house. They ain't paying my bills and da-da-da-da. But if you need help in your household and you can't control it or run it, you need to ask for help. And that's why we have parent coaches and life coaches and stuff like that to help you get your life in order, get it together. Because it's very important to be safe at home, be comfortable, have that security. You don't want to go home and be stressed. Home is the one place where that should be your sanctuary. That should be your place of peace. I work from home, so my home got to be in order at all times because I got to be here every day. So I just wanted to come live with you because I see a lot of people that yell at their kids and punish their kids for stuff that they have taught them. And I don't think it's fair for the kid because you're not getting them help. You're not modeling who you want your child to be. And you're not being a great example or being consistent. You have to help your child. They can't help themselves. They don't know when it's get to a point where they need help. Sometimes some kids will say, I need help or I want to talk to somebody, and they'll reach out to somebody because their parents are not doing it. There are some intelligent kids that will feel like they're depressed. I know I did a video a few months back that gave people the signs of if your child is depressed or not. Because kids show you signs when they stop eating, when they stop talking, their appetite changes, they want to sleep all day, they don't have any energy, they're crying, they're very emotionally unstable. Kids go through depression just like adults, but we know how to handle it differently. And it's up to us adults to pay attention to those kids to get help for them. If you can't help them yourself, reach out. And I did open up some spaces for December. I am taking in one-on-one clients for the rest of the year. I'm not doing any of my programs again until January. I'm booking up for January as well for those programs. My icebreaker cards are on sale right now. And today is the last day. It's 10% off the icebreaker cards. I think I have some with me. Let me see. But there's 4 edition. There's the child. This is a child edition. They're small. They're mini. Christmas is coming. These are great stocking stuffers. Then I have the co-parenting edition where it's 50 cards that parents will ask each other. This is for just the parents. Those are $30, but today they're 10% off up until midnight. And the child edition, these are 100 questions that parents will ask the kid to be able to get to know their kid a little better. I know a lot of kids will say, like my son told me, the reason why I discovered, I created these cards because he told me, I don't know much about you and my dad. And that's what he told us. And I'm like, really? So we designed these questions for him to ask me. That's why I came out with the parent edition. The parent edition, the kids ask the parent questions to get to know them better because you don't really know much about your kid outside of them besides when they're around you. And even then, a lot of people are in autopilot most of the time. They're not actually paying attention to the details of their kid, what their kid like. Like, I just discovered a few months ago that my son can draw because I was being nosy, looking through his backpack and his notebook. I didn't know he can draw. His dad draws, so that's something they have in common. And so I started playing on it. He started with an app on his phone, designing different pictures. So I printed them out and I'm framing them to put in his room and making like an art studio. I didn't know that was his passion. Now every day I see him drawing. Now that we recognize that's one of his passions, I'm going to buy him canvas and stuff like that for Christmas. And we can have our own paint and sip at home for our family night. I'm not a drawer, but I know how to paint and be creative. Even if we're doing it on fabric, I make clothes. I have 4 sewing machines. I can show my artistic abilities in one way, and he can show it in another. But I'm helping him stay active in what he liked to do and discovering those new purposes and those new talents that we didn't know about. And there's the other edition is a teen edition. These are the important questions when teenagers get to a certain age. This is for 13 and older. Asking questions about bullying, pressure, peer pressure, sex, if they need birth control. Some parents shame away from like asking those serious questions. You need to know that's why we have a lot of teen pregnancy. Like, my mom never talked to me about sex or anything, but we were open with the subject, but she never had that talk with me. I told her, no, I'm not having sex. And we sat down and talked to her, my son, dad, and my sister, because we all was really close. And they would tell her like, oh, Mom, I'm having sex or whatever. And she'd be like, you want to go get on birth control? We were like really cool and close with my mom where we could talk to her about anything. And that's what I want for my child, to be comfortable enough to come to me about anything. But the icebreaker cards that I designed help parents have that open communication and make it a little easy where it won't feel awkward where you're just questioning them. They can pull a card themselves and show you the question and you ask them and they answer. If they don't feel comfortable answering that question, you can move on to the next question. But I do have the on my website. If you use the, I forgot to add the code. The discount code is Coach Mo, COACHMO, for the icebreaker cards. And you will notice that some of my programs are at 50% off right now, and my one-on-one coaching is discounted. It's normally $125 an hour, but right now it's only $75 an hour. And my co-parenting program is normally $3,000 for a 6-week program. It's right now 50% off. You can start doing payment arrangements, making a payment plan, and you will start coaching in January when I open that back up. I have a few people waiting for that program. So there's different options for you. If you need a payment plan, you will have to message me or send me an email from my website. You can click Contact Us, and it'll send me an email if you want a payment plan. The one-on-one coaching, I don't do payment plan because it's a low cost. But I definitely look forward to doing more videos and talking to you guys soon. Now that I'm no longer, well, I'm a little sick, but I'm not as bad as I was. I was struggling before, but I definitely will be back on my live videos on a consistent basis again. And thank you, Keisha. I just noticed you said I love your hair. I braided it like 2 weeks ago. It's getting old now. But I would like to thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I will definitely be going live again tomorrow with a few more topics. And I'm going to be updating videos on my YouTube channel and sharing it with you guys. But thank you guys for tuning in. I'm getting ready to start work again. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.